I have seen some things in my time, folks, but it is at 5:14 a.m. here in Great Britain.
Power is back.
I've got the shakes, brother. I've got the shakes.
Back.
We are here, WrestleMania post-show, WrestleMania Night 1 post-show, and I can honestly say I seldom can recall enjoying any professional wrestling show as much as I enjoyed that one we just watched, and I mean that sincerely. That was a ride. We have so much to talk about. We really do thank everyone who's joining us because we know there's 101 of these shows happening across the many platforms that do this shit. So thank you very, very much for joining us. We have an expert panel. As always, Bobby Two Shoes. Rumor has it the power is back, brother. How you feeling?
I'm doing great, man. It was a hell of a show. We were talking a little bit before, but like, if they can even do just, the bare minimum tomorrow, like the one big thing I think we're all focused on, it's going to be a hell of an all-time weekend.
Yeah, I agree. I honestly, man, they don't need me to do that. I don't care. I do what I want tomorrow. I have my night. That's all I need. I'm not going to be greedy. They can do whatever the hell they want to do tomorrow night within reason. And I will be grinning through the week because, my God, we saw something tonight. The Oracle of Wrestling. How are you feeling, mate?
Well, a couple things. One, so that press conference, those are for replay on Peacock?
Yeah, this is the replay. I think they're on YouTube.
I'll probably be up watching that because apparently Rhea's cooking right now.
Makes sense. A lot of folks were cooking tonight, brother.
My math was wrong when we did deciding the decade. This is actually my 24th WrestleMania. Because I have poor mathematics. And I was fortunate enough to see WrestleMania 17. I was fortunate enough to see WrestleMania 30. Now, when you talk about the two-night events, things might get a little bit more complex and difficult, but right now I think it's in that discussion.
You just treat this as a single show, which I think is the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is one of the best. I'm not, folks. Am I being reactionary? Yes, it's professional wrestling. What do you want me to do? Bring out a fucking whiteboard?
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite shows.
About it.
This is one of my favorite shows, man. Mm-hmm. This was a ride, and I don't know how we're going to do this, folks. Please bear with us. But after the co-main event, as a fan of the Usos and a fan of Kevin and Sami, also, I'm a big Usos fan, and I was really big on them getting the main event. I was thinking they're fucked. I was thinking, oh my God, they're fucked. They're not going to be able to follow this.
And you know what?
Oh my God, I was charging around, Oracle. I was fired up.
Took them a couple minutes.
It did.
Nothing was bad. Took a couple minutes. Right?
Let's settle. And then go. And then go, brother. We have so much to get into, and now we will do it because it is late enough, and we appreciate everyone that stayed up this long. Should we start with the main event and kind of work just through the show? Like, just talk, because it's... I almost feel like talking about John Cena now at this hour after we just talked, let's just talk main event. Man, what a ride. The emotion in that match, the drama in that match, the structure of that match was fascinating. I thought they were doing double heat, and then they cut it off in mid-flow and went into their finish. I said, oh my fuck, they're going to do a 15-minute finish. And they did. A 15-minute finish, which Oracle and I have been joking about all week. And when the Usos sit down and come up with a finish, they know what they're doing. And you give them Sami and Kevin, who are brilliant wrestling minds in their own right, and geniuses in that regard. They came up with this intricate finish with false finishes here and saves there. And I mean, this thing was electric. They absolutely rocked it. Bobby, what did you make of the main event?
I mean, it was incredible. And those false finishes, there were probably 2 or 3 on each side that got me, which, I mean, just incredibly well laid out. I love the story with the Usos kind of cutting the ring off, staying fresh, having more experience as a team and all that. And, Sami just refusing to go down. And the finish was incredible. Just all-timer, man. Deserving of the spot. I think, now that we've seen both matches, I think either one could have been the main event, but I'm glad that the tag match was.
Yeah, because this was the one that people were invested in.
Yeah.
We will give more than praise to the co-main event, which was incredible and way exceeded my expectation. I thought it would be good, but it was much better than good. However, this was very, very special. So much here. Oracle, what a fucking match.
Yeah, so they they come in there and the Usos do this thing where they don't always do in defense of them, almost no tag team in wrestling today
Mm-hmm.
is face shine.
Right.
And that always bugs me a little bit because I'm a traditionalist and I'm a
They
fucking
like
nerd.
front load the heat.
South.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, works good, solid. But then they start cooking when they have Sammy isolated
Mm-hmm.
and they do the super kick stuff. And Sammy's selling is just, remarkable. And Kevin's trying to fight him off and help Sammy any way he can. And then they brawl onto the announce table. Boom. Tag team spine buster through the announce table. Sammy's left alone. 1D. Kick out. Michael Cole.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Stop doubting this dude, man. He's great. I don't give a fuck. That dude's great.
This was his best performance, I think, of his entire career. He was great all night.
He's been great for a while now, though. Genuinely, man.
Oh, yeah.
He was incredible here. But carry on.
He lost his fucking mind. I don't know how the hell he's going to not be raspy tomorrow, having to call another whole show. That's going to be something else. And then they masterfully put together this, very much a PWG finishing sequence. But I mean, look at Sami Zayn and KO's ring attires, right? The homage there, or the homage, I guess is how you pronounce that. I loved Cole and Graves going. I'm sure El Generico is proud of this one, which ruled. And they just had these wonderful sequences and double team sequences where they set up these great near falls. And, I never necessarily bid on any of them, but it was so well put together.
The crowd did, right?
It
was so well done.
Yeah. It was so well put together. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
Just the cinematic finish. Let me point out the part where when Sammy was by himself after he kicked out of the 1D, like you could tell him he was both. I think he was legit telling Jay, "Come on, man, hit me." Like legit, shoot you. Like, you got to hit me, Jay. Come on, this is WrestleMania, dude. Like, come on, lay it in. You can hear him. He was like, lay it in. And Sammy's selling, and of course, the finishing stretch with the 3 haluva kicks was just. It was cinematic, but this whole storyline has been,
theatrical, showy, right? That's what it's been.
Great community theater. Manny would call it bad community theater, but
it's wrestling, man.
It's wrestling.
I'll say this much,
and it's something that they excel at.
Jey Uso is very believable in that regard.
Oh,
too.
yes,
he's an authentic shit talker.
We'll talk about this all night. It's not as good as it used to be necessarily, obviously, but there were some really great camera moments where they captured a lot of the important shots. They really captured Sammy wonderfully there, where he was, making his, dramatic faces, close-ups, and for the 3 haluva kicks, and of course, KO with the great save and the stunner on Jimmy. Jimmy takes a nice bump to the ropes to the floor, finish, and then they get a great capture of Zayn's smile at the 3, and then just.
Kevin crying.
Kevin crying over there on his knee. Just like it was. I don't know, man.
It made me
something else
weird. Like I'm going to say this a few times tonight, folks. Sometimes the graps is so real that you get like weirdly overtaken by emotion, and you're kind of like you're moved by it in a way that you're not quite sure of what's happening to you. This happened to me multiple times tonight. This match happened because it was like. I don't want to be dramatic, but we just watched a 2-on-2 tag main event WrestleMania, and it was like absolutely the actual main event of the show. Like the crowd was absolutely rocking for that match, and it's not that big a deal, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. But it's pretty fucking cool as someone who loves tag team wrestling. I never thought I'd see that shit. As someone who's watched the Usos' career closely, WrestleMania used to be the show where they got put in a fatal 4-way tag, brother. They were not supposed to be main event in WrestleMania. And I mean, Zayn and Owens were never intended to be at this spot, and here they are. Kevin's done it 2 years in a row. So, just 2 great triumphs kind of crossing here on the biggest stage. And I love this point when Willie. Absolutely, this was a great call. The Jey Uso Roman parallels that we got as he was shit talking Sammy and almost trying to fill the boots of the tribal chief and such. So, man. Really, really, really special. Anything else in the main event? I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff that we're forgetting because how the hell can you? But man, the work was so good, right? Like we're talking about the ideas and the way they put it together and the finish and all this, but the work was just immaculate. The Usos timing, man. Kevin Owens hot tag, Sami selling, like this was just immense. Yep. I can't wait to rewatch it because it felt like honestly when they got rolling, it was flawless. Everything was so perfectly placed, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible main event. Bobby, anything else on the show closer, mate? I mean, I know we've gone all over the place, but it's gonna happen that way tonight.
No, I think we kind of nailed all the big stuff, man. Just an incredible match. I probably will watch it back after we get done here, honestly.
Absolutely. What an incredible story. You know, the Steenerico, the ride has been, and what an unlikely story it's been in so many ways. And last year we were on this very platform being awful triumphant about Austin and Owens, and that felt like it'd be Kevin's peak. And I think in a lot of ways he would still say, you know, it was pretty close. But he was the hero of this story alongside Sami, and Sami in the same way last year was opposite Johnny Knoxville. And as great as that was, this was a very different spot to that. And I don't mean it to slight that one, but this was very, very special. So just so much to love about this. I thought it to be genuinely stirring. I thought it was like a legitimately emotive watch. So wonderful, wonderful stuff. I think the Oracle of Wrestling is froze, but he does look very stern. Is his wheel spinning for you, Bob, too?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, good.
Yep, there we go.
Here he's back. Hello, the Oracle of Wrestling.
Hello.
Any feels in the main event, mate?
No. Just to they stuck the landing as you begged them to do.
I was very scared. Scared, Oracle.
Yeah, great stuff, man. Great stuff.
Absolutely.
Sorry, folks. My connection is
pop.
When you have an old laptop, it only gets worse. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's too late to worry. Andrew cheered 100 bits. He said, "Love you guys." It's 5:14 a.m. here in the UK. It's now 5:26. I apologize for getting this late. Everything delivered. Love you guys. We love you too, Andrew. We appreciate it, mate. And Ben subscribed also. Thank you very much, Ben. Oh, how? All right. With the main event, cover this, discuss one of the matches that was speculated as being a potential main event and was like a big debate leading up to it. The build was very, very divisive. I certainly had my digs to offer. But there was a generally kind of optimistic hope that once he got inside the ropes, this thing would deliver. I don't think anyone was quite predicting Charlotte and Rhea to deliver like that.
Yeah.
I know where Oracle is on this because we were talking a little bit. Bobby, wow. What did you make of that one?
So the first third or half of it, I was just like, okay, this is just kind of there. And then as soon as Charlotte hit that first moonsault, the one in the ring, that looked really good. I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to be something. And then from there on, they just kind of threw bombs at each other the rest of the match. And Charlotte kicked out of the Riptide. And I'm like, okay, well, if Rhea's going to win, she needs something bigger than the Riptide, which obviously she ended up doing. But a couple of moments there where it's like, maybe Charlotte shouldn't have kicked out of that. I'm getting a little worried. But, we got to where we needed to get to in the end. And, yeah, just a hell of a match. I think it made Rhea look like a giant star. And just an incredible performance by both of them.
They absolutely was whacking each other out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone must have got some fucking Masawa tapes to Charlotte Flair. They were doing head drops. Rhea Ripley always bumps on her head, but they were doing I knew, again, I didn't think the match would be bad. All of the gripes about Charlotte are always about her as a character and that stuff, and that's not what we're getting into tonight, because fuck all of that stuff tonight. She killed it, man. She should be very, very proud of her performance, but, I never thought it would be that match, Oracle, right? I mean, we were talking earlier, we were both thought it would be good. Oh my God, it was a damn instant classic. Good Lord.
Yeah, and as I predicted, Rhea was very over as a babyface.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. The match definitely started slow. Mm-hmm. But they picked it up so well. When Rhea started throwing those stiff forearms into Charlotte's spine, and Charlotte was going, "Oh shit!" My favorite part, the funniest part of the whole match, is when it must have been a receipt or something or whatever, because Rhea was killing her, and then Charlotte turned around, looked at her mad, and Rhea just holds her jaw and goes, "Ow!" Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, Charlotte was commentating the whole match. Oh, you are.
She's kind of like Rick. Which he used to do often.
They were clobbering each other, man.
Dude, when they started doing those Germans and just started going nuts, first of all, Rhea's bump on the first Riptide counter and that
The
DDT.
DDT one.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And then those Germans, listen, I've never seen someone take a head over heels German on their face and almost shatter their nose, an orbital bone like Charlotte did. It's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen.
She had like an out of body experience, I swear, bro. But when the crowd came up, Charlotte started like roaring and shit. Like she was like, I think Charlotte thought she was in a shoot. She might have been. I don't know. Man.
Listen, what got me was when I kind of figured she might, but when she kicked out of the first Riptide, I said, "Oh no!" And I was like, I started like standing up and was like cheering Rhea. I was like, "No, no, no!" Like the small package near fall got me after that. Like when they got to the figure eight, I was like, "No, don't do it!" And then when we got the ropes, I was like, "Yes!" And then I knew exactly what they were doing when they fought on the cover. Oh yeah, Riptide for the finish from the top, and they hit it, and I fucking lost my mind. I was jumping up and down. Just an incredible match. I literally, like, no exaggeration, I'd probably still give it full 5. I mean, I may have to watch it again, but like, I'm not a 5-star. I'm not a ratings guy, but like,
full 5, man, go for it, brother.
Yeah,
and it had a slow start and shit, but like, and Charlotte made her ridiculous faces or whatever, but the crowd was so into it, and they beat the shit out of each other, and I completely lost my mind. Totally worth it. Star-making performance for Rhea. Was there some stuff about Charlotte that we can talk about later? Yeah, maybe a little bit after the match.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's enough to hurt Rhea personally.
It also feels so inconsequential compared to the match they had, right?
Right, exactly. And I also think in Charlotte's defense, when she was sitting there crying, clapping, I think she was just happy that they got the match.
She looked really proud of the match.
You know, she felt like they had, done the match that they deserved and earned. Yeah. Just an incredible match. Their Mania match 3 years ago is exceptional in front of nobody, and this year's was just. I was so glad that they had this great match.
Me too.
Because I was very concerned about it for many reasons. But what a fucking barn burner, man!
Yeah.
Yep.
They beat the piss out of each other, and it ruled.
Solidifies who Rhea Ripley has been, pretty clearly becoming in recent times. But I also, and again, I've been a critic. Don't get me wrong. So, but it's always worth noting that whenever we focus on a wrestler with critique, I think if you're, a reasonable human being, you like nothing more than to be proven wrong. I wasn't sure Charlotte still had this kind of big time showing in her. I didn't think she'd stink out. I'm wrong, folks. I didn't. This was, quite frankly, I think it's as good as she's ever been tonight. And I didn't know if she had that still left in her, and the fact that she did. Again, I would love for them to assist her with some interesting creative sometime. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
But regardless of any of that, tonight definitely solidified her own place in, she's for real. You can pick holes in a lot of it, and it certainly is manufactured in some ways. But when you perform like that, when it matters most, you can't pull someone down much further. Like, it's much below that. I mean, she's great, unquestionably. When you see a performance like that, you can't argue with it. So big props to Charlotte. Rhea's obviously awesome. She's the future of the division, the present of the division. She is the division right now. So unbelievable match. I just couldn't believe the way they got the people. Because the people were like, the first half of the match, first third of the match, I would say.
Yeah.
It was exactly what I described in my very cynical rant where I said, people don't care about the match, they just want Rhea to win. That's what it was initially. They were just cheering Rhea. I mean, it turned into this breathtaking shootout. It was like a heavyweight brawl, I mean, it was. I'm not sure they've ever had a women's title match like that. I don't think they have.
It was incredible, man. It was like a heavyweight fight.
It really was a knockout shots.
Yeah, it was like Ollie Foreman or some shit in there.
They were hitting like that at times too. A friend of mine did text me it, and it is striking. The idea that WrestleMania just closed with a women's title match and a tag title match, and they just fucking rocked the place. Wow, what an interesting place we're in, huh? But remarkable match. Bobby, anything else on the SmackDown women's title match, mate?
No, I think we kind of covered it there.
Yep. Oracle, anything else other than just full 5, brother?
It felt like a good changing of the guard in a lot of ways. This was a star-making performance again for Rhea, and hopefully they capitalized on that and
Yep.
They're going to need help for challengers,
Mhm.
not to bring it down any, but, they are going to need to,
For
work on that a
sure.
little bit. But this is obviously, for now, just absolutely tremendous match. Classic,
Absolutely.
probably, likely will go down as a WrestleMania classic, I think.
I would agree. I think you can even be more confident. It's going to go down as a WrestleMania classic. Absolutely, I believe that. Now, there's a lot of good stuff on this show, but I think I speak for all of us when I say the next thing we need to talk about is Ray and Dom.
Yeah.
Oh my God! All right, we need to go piece by piece on this thing because you got the epic video package,
which did an awesome job
beautiful.
of
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect WWE video package. Which, by the way, they nailed for the main event too. By the way, it's worth noting. We didn't mention that, but
Yeah.
Also, Uzi was in the Usos entrance, which is one of the biggest, most audible pops I've ever had on a wrestling show.
His pants were falling down. Me, my brother, and my sister-in-law were hoping that his pants would fall down as he ran up by the Usos.
I couldn't believe that was the thing that happened. Maybe I missed it. I don't think that was advertised. It popped me. Anyway, so Dom gets this entrance, and I will never forget the visual of him coming out with the hood and the mask, trying to get his hood off, and his hood's not, and him like even that being awkward made it so much funnier. The handcuffs. Oh my
He's got
God!
prison security walking him to the.
What a presentation! And I'm thinking, this is wrestling. This is wrestling encapsulated. And then Ray Jr. comes out with fucking Snoop Dogg. And I swear,
nothing but a G-Thang play. Eddie play.
Eddie
plays.
I swear.
Then Booyaka plays.
I don't even know really why, because yes, the Eddie thing, but I'm not even sure that's what it was. I got weirdly emotional at Ray coming out with Snoop Dogg.
And then as the great contrarian Alex pointed out, that Muda type mask he was wearing, that had to be a tribute to Muda. That was incredible.
A lot of me was I was just so happy to see Ray get that moment where it was I think so often Ray's cultural significance in wrestling has been understated in the last 20 years. And it's as of late, we talk about this a lot. As of late, they've actually celebrated it. Brother, he came out with fucking Snoop.
Mm-hmm.
I was just in awe of it. And Eddie, oh man, and let's be real here. We will get back to Ray because he's one of the greatest wrestlers who ever lived, and I adore the man. But Dominic Mysterio brought it. He was the real deal tonight, bro. And it weren't just the shtick, it weren't just the character work. He did a good job in there, man. Really good job in there as a heel. Oracle, was you surprised by that part of it?
A little bit.
Yeah.
But just even the early going where he does the Owen bit like in WrestleMania 10 where he gets he throws Ray and he goes on and he cheers on the ramp. Dude, this whole thing was just incredible. Every bit of it, I loved it all. The heat was through the roof and amazing. I was so happy that the crowd ate the whole thing up. Ray pulling off his belt and whipping Dominic at one of the best pops ever. How great were Andrea and Aaliyah at ringside?
Yeah.
Sometimes you have family at ringside, they're not good. They were wonderful. They were just playing along and
man.
The spot with Aaliyah ruled where Dom threw water in her face.
Yeah, and Ray held her back. That was the cutoff. That was the cutoff spot, bro.
Yes.
Yep.
Some of the spots and exchanges that they did, early on when they did the rope running sequence that ended with the Rana and the head scissors. That was great. Ray had the code red again, which ruled.
Good bump on that, by the way.
On the wheelbarrow throw to the bottom of the turnbuckle.
Good Lord. Also, shout out to whoever agented those run-ins.
Mm-hmm.
That's
perfect
how it's done. Yeah. They nailed that. I mean, Damian Priest had 4 things to do, and if he couldn't have done any of them any better. I mean, he fucking nailed his shit tonight. I mean as a slight. That's what you got to do, man. That's being a pro,
Yep.
Beautiful.
And then, of course, the LWO stuff, which got a huge pop on SmackDown on Friday, and that shit rules. I don't care. I also love Michael Cole going, Ray actually wanting to join the LWO this time, which I thought was a great reference. WCW days.
Absolutely.
That stuff. The tope where Priest decided to bump between the announce tables, which was insane. and
Priest was
had to have
spectacular
hurt
at his
his
spots.
ribs in midsection.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The finish was just awesome. Angie slapping Dom to set up, to lead to the finish and the finishing run. I know you guys are losing me a little bit.
No, you're good. You're good.
But oh man,
What a match!
the Eddie mockery. This one, the near fall after the frog splash. Am I back?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, you broke up for a second.
Am I here? Okay. And then of course the amazing finish with Bad Bunny, which I think will set up for probably tag in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
But just an amazing finish, great pop, great post match with Ray celebrating with his wife and daughter. Just Dom looking sad with Judgment Day in the alleyway. Picture perfect sports entertainment. Literally looked like legitimately great wrestling match in there too.
Factual.
Yeah.
Bob O'Neill.
Yeah, I think we were all very excited for this. I think we all had high expectations, but the in-ring part, I know it was like, well, I don't know what Dominic's gonna do. There we go.
Yes. Carry on.
Yeah, didn't know how Dominic would look. He looked great. Just got all the stuff Oracle said, like just an incredible match from the entrances all the way through. You guys brought it up, but special shout out to Legato, LWO. I said every week for about 2 years they should be called up, but now they're in this incredible spot, and love to see it, man.
Man, we look. I know we've done this a million times, but if ever there was a night to do it, we have to do it here, folks. Please appreciate Rey Mysterio while you can. There will not be another. Mm-hmm. Many will be compared. There will never be another Rey Mysterio. This dude is. I watch him. He is such a just beautiful professional wrestler. Watch. You watch him just hit the ropes. That Rana sequence you spoke about earlier. Mm-hmm. It's just still so fluid. It's just gorgeous to watch, man. I'm in awe of the guy. I really am, and he's understanding placement structure.
I want to bring up something my buddy Eduardo said on Twitter about how Rey is one of the all-time greats at having ridiculous feuds that just work. He knows how to do a soap opera feud, man. Eddie, Punk, Batista, this Dom feud. Like, he knows how to do it, man. He's a master at it. There's no he's just there's never going to be another one ever.
He's one of the best wrestlers ever, and he's still great. He's not like, he can still go. No. He is great, man. I mean, it's truly, truly special.
Cody feud was good too, Andrew. Yep, you're right.
Yep. I mean, honestly, there was even some good shit in that Seth feud, which was insane, man. The dude's eyeball came out.
The Seth feud was awesome. Yeah. I mean, it was probably in some ways too far-fetched, but I think they did it because of the pandemic when there were no fans. Which, in a way, I kind of respect. But that feud rolled. Remember how good that Seth Dom match was at SummerSlam?
Yeah. Absolutely. Andrew cheered another 100 bits. He said, "I was so fired up for Ray and Dom. Dom's entrance was incredible. They both were incredible entrances. Absolutely. Yeah, it was. I think if you were into the angle, it was everything you could have wanted and more. Right? I mean, I think they absolutely nailed it. It was perfection. And again, big shout out to Dom, who really surprised me. I've never, and this is, Oracle, you can vouch this, we've talked about a lot. Even before we used to do these shows, we talked about it. It's I've never been one of those, I've never totally disparaged him as a worker. He's just kind of there to me. But I thought he was very, very sharp tonight as a heel. I always thought his fundamentals were okay, but tonight he was really on.
His character work has been great since he turned. But, he really... he's really starting to figure it out. I thought he was a pretty good tag worker actually already.
I did too. Yeah,
he's starting to figure it out as a single heel guy. For what it's worth, I don't think this feud's over. I think they're probably going to do that tag in Puerto Rico. Probably, probably Damian and Dom versus Ray and Bad Bunny. Which will be a huge show match with a huge heat. I think. I think Dom and Damian might actually take that one. I don't know, maybe not, but we'll see. I still think this might be something that goes into the summer. And we have to remember Triple H is still the booker, so he likes to really have these long feuds, which I appreciate.
This has
in
juice
this
left.
case, it's
Yeah.
not so bad because Ray's so good at carrying on long feuds.
Yeah.
But but regardless, this was a perfect, just like from the entrance to the video package, the entrances to just great shit, man.
It was a masterpiece for its genre. This was a masterpiece, genuinely. Another hit that we have to talk about was everyone's favorite wrestler in the late night Green universe, Seth freaking Rollins, who, for all of our fun and games, I think we were all very confident he would kind of something good with Logan Paul. But man, I had a good time with this. I was surprised how much Logan took of it because I guess I didn't think about the fact that he was going to be the heel. So like he had to kind of lead like a heat segment at one point, which was interesting. But once they got into like the more sequence heavy stuff and the back and forth, they rocked it, man. And they had the KSI spot I thought was really fun. And a great example of like, if you're going to do a crossover, do it right, and give the audience that's going to just see that clip something that will pop them, and that was cute, I thought. Lots to like here, Bobby. What did you make of this one, mate?
Yeah, that was fine. Seth's not my favorite wrestler, obviously, but the KSI spot was very cool, and Seth got a lot of his stuff in, and I think that's what he needed to do. He needed kind of a big win because I do think he's gonna challenge for a title probably sooner rather than later. He's got to start, getting some momentum back, and there's a step in that direction. And it was a lot of fun. We knew it was going to be, at least passable, and it was.
Wow, I was a lot higher on this, Oracle. Was it? Bobby's giving it the fine mark. I thought this was pretty fucking awesome.
I thought it was great. I thought it was great. I really did. It's first couple minutes were just kind of there, but I thought this kicked ass, man. ASI spot was really well done. I also liked that. Like at first you were kind of like, wait, didn't you see him there? But then when they show the close up of him, he's spitting water, so you can believe that he doesn't see him. I really liked that they did that. I loved Logan Paul's selling was great. Like when Seth stomped on his hand on the stairs. Yeah. And he did the punch, which looked awesome. And then he sold it. Oh, that was great.
We have to give credit to Seth on that knockout sell too, bro. He did a beautiful job.
Oh, yeah, great. Yeah. Both entrances were totally ridiculous, but like it was perfect, like fitting for their characters and stuff. Just a blast of a match. I really, really enjoyed this. Some good near falls there. I thought the finish was great. This was right guy won. Even though I don't like Rollins, he needed a Mania win badly. Yeah. This was an exceptional. This was good shit, man. I'm with you, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, as a character, I'll never be like a huge fan of especially what he's doing right now. I should be more specific. I should never say never, but like of this particular character, it's not really for me. But Seth is, admirably consistent on shows such as this. Like he will very seldom let them down on a show like this, and I think you got to show that some love because
Willie brought up when he did the octopus and Michael was like or Corey's like Antonio Inoki did this standing up.
I think it was Cole. I think Cole said it.
I think you're right. It was Cole. Yeah,
I forgot about that. Okay, so we've talked main event. We've talked Rhea. We've talked Ray. We've talked Seth and Logan. It's time for me to talk about the big man, Braun Strowman, who I legitimately thought died at one point, but at the hands of Angelo Dawkins. We were very consistent. There was a lot of talk of why is this on the card, and this will rock the live crowd. Oracle and I were even texting today, and I was like, bro, this shit is going to get over.
That video, brother.
Yeah. And I was very optimistic. I am delighted to say this actually even exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
This is one of the most well-produced multi-man matches, multi-team matches that I've seen in some time. You talk about packing something in, giving everyone a chance to shine without overstaying your welcome. I mean, this was perfection in that regard. I like all of these teams to an extent. I like some more than others. But, man, they did a tremendous job here. Every agent of this deserves a raise, and all the guys absolutely nailed it. Bobby, what did you make of the showcase tag?
Yeah, it was a hoot, man. Would they get like 10 minutes or so, right? It was not particularly
8 minutes.
Long. Yeah. Everyone just got their shit in. It just it went off without a hitch. I love the rolling German suplex by Gable. Everyone kind of got a chance to like look strong for at least a little bit, and that's what you got to do in these sorts of matches. Like there were some questions like why is this added to the card, but like all 8 of these guys worked hard the last year. Like,
yeah, man, I've been on that. You've heard me say it for a long time, right, Bob? Like,
yep.
Let Chad Gable wrestle in front of that crowd, bro. He deserves it. You know, let all of them dudes. Like, for real, I know people hate it, and it's like, not everyone has to be on the card, bro. You know what? What if they are on the card? Fuck it, you know?
Yeah.
It's about how you do it. Go on, Bob.
They did a cool Tower of Doom spot, which I didn't know was possible in 2023. I enjoyed that quite a bit. And I forgot how much I enjoy that spot where Braun, runs around the ring and just crashes into people when they don't have like a train whistle behind it. It's actually a really cool spot. He's very good.
We need to stop playing with this Braun Strowman stuff, man. We're playing with Braun too much. You know what I mean?
He's good.
I'm sorry, man. He's real graps.
He's good, man.
He did a splash.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he was hiding, wasn't it? Do you think that's what he was hiding in that video?
I don't know, bro. I'm ready to sit down and talk grab. I think we need to get Braun on the fucking Grin. I'm telling you, this dude he's a hoot.
The best part is when he was like almost fell, but he hung on.
He's fun, man. Like because he's like the perfect mix of a guy who's like capable of doing cool shit, but also appears to not always know what he's gonna do. It's fucking awesome. And him and Ricochet is a fun team. Like, I genuinely do like the way they like brand them as this sort of like superhero combination. It pops me huge, like this idea like Spider-Man and the Hulk, like it's fun. And I do have to mention before I throw it to you, Oracle, because it forced me to message you. Holy fuck, Angelo Dawkins killed him.
Yeah,
he hit Braun so hard, Braun like didn't bounce off where he just landed flat, like he'd been crushed.
Titus was losing his mind.
Titus was great.
Me and Titus had the same reaction. We both leapt to our feet. Unbelievable. Oracle, what did you make of the showcase tag?
Listen, I said it last week, and I stand by this. I don't always love when everybody gets on the show, but listen, this is what you do if you want to do that. Fuck the Battle Royal. That's better fit on SmackDown, which was not a bad match, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
We remember Ricochet doing the fucking crazy, commander like running, shooting, which was insane.
Yep.
He's spectacular.
We remember Braun. We remember Gable's crazy chaos theory. We remember, the Street Profits won. I mean, the Raiders were kind of like whatever, but like, like these people got to, it was an actual showcase match, and it went 8 minutes, perfect time, hit the right notes. This kicked ass. Titus was amazing on commentary. My brother Dylan said on Twitter he was like channeling the great Don West, like losing his mind and everything, and just
he's the man, bro.
Having like great infectious enthusiasm on commentary, and you could tell Cole and like Graves were like entertained with him, being on there with him. This ruled, man. Right team won. Great hot 8 minutes of action. Got the crowd even more pumped up, like especially after the heel won the first match. So just an awesome match.
Yep, absolutely. And a cool moment for Street Profits. We actually talked about this on our preview. Like, I think I do think they deserve more credit than they get. I think unfortunately they've come in on this kind of tail end of an Usos New Day era. And they've now been one of the top teams in the promotion for 4 years, which is a long time in WWE to be a top team. And I think they've been terrific. They have both come so far. Dawkins in particular has become like a genuinely terrific tag team wrestler. And I couldn't be happier to see that. Good for him, because it took a while for Dawkins to find his niche, but he's done it here. And they're a really good team. I was glad to see him get a win, and this was an absolute hoot. And again, you'll get no pretending here on the Late Night Grin. The big man, he's back, folks. I'm telling you. I'm not saying he needs to be the world champion, but he's been on my spreadsheet an awful lot this year, brothers.
Yep.
I think he's real grabs. But nonetheless, let's move from that to let's go trios next. Right? Do trios next or Cena? What would you like to talk about next, Bob? You cool?
Let's do Bob, you good. Bob, you good?
We can do the trios.
Okay. What'd you make of it, Bob? Go ahead, mate.
I actually liked it a lot. I don't know. I think Trish and Dakota really stood out. I think Bayley looked very good. I think Becky was very good. Like, Lita was fine. She did the moonsault. The entrances for the babyface were very cool. I don't love the result, but like we could see, on Raw, if Trish is still going to do a turn or whatever, she's going to be around all summer, or if they'll just kind of split Damage Control apart. I'm willing to let it play out here. But I enjoyed it quite a bit. I think the they really did what they needed to do on a big stage.
Before we continue to talk about this one, I need to shout out Tank Bearclaw, who is one of my favourites from back in the olden days on Fightful. We'd often talk shop. Just gifted out 5 community subs. So if you got one of those, please do thank Tank, because Tank's one of the greats. All right, Oracle, what did you make of the trios match, mate?
This was actually, I thought it was fairly decent. I thought the heels were all really good. I thought Io looked the best she has in a long time. I thought, Dakota was obviously really good. Her bumping's excellent.
Yeah.
Bailey confident lately. You guys might lose me, so you may have to.
You're good. You're good. Yeah.
It's acting up a little bit, but I thought Trish looked pretty good. She slowed down a tad bit since the last time she wrestled, but she still got her spots, hit her spots pretty well. She struggled to get up for that top rope inverted Rana, but it still worked. Lita, God bless her, slow as can be, but the heels did a really good job of guiding her and bumping for her stuff and making her stuff look passable. You know what I mean? I thought Becky was awesome. She was so fired up. You could tell she was really wanting to have a good match out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Finishing. I want to quickly share this while Oracle breaks up for a moment. Dukes points out one of my favorite spots of the match. Oracle's now yelling no. Yes, so one of my favorite spots of the match was this here when Dakota took like a drop kick on the outside and inexplicably just rammed her head into the announce table, which was insane. She did a lot of that kind of bump tonight. Oracle, you were saying, mate, carry on. Pick up where you were.
I was saying the finishing stretch was done pretty well, and right team won, and I liked the top rope. Oh God, I better not call it Uranagi. Don't want Alex to know.
The manhandle slam.
Manhandle slam for the win. But yeah, this was good. Good. I liked it. Good shout out by the Dakota bump off a fucking baseball slide of all things too.
I think she's terrific, man. I really do. She's really good. I don't think she's a leading act on the main roster. I think she's best as a supporting character, but that's not a slight. She's terrific in that role. The one thing I would say about this is, while I thought it was pretty good, I do think it was stretched to its limits at this length a little bit. I didn't think it needed so much heat. I thought
it was laid out pretty well, but I agree that it didn't necessarily need double heat. Like
double heat was pretty crazy. Yeah. For this match, a little much. Yeah. It was done well because the heels are really good pros. But I didn't know it was a little much. They came in at just under 15. I'm glad they got that time. I'm not sure they needed all of it, but whatever. Damage control, we assume
too, like Bobby said.
For sure. Damage control, we assume, is probably going in a different direction, right? We would guess.
I would imagine.
Which we'll see. We'll kind of see what happens there. The lads will kind of keep up, their coverage that as usual on Fed Dead in the coming months and such. But before we proceed, I need to give some more love to Andrew. Cheered another 100 bits. Andrew's cooking tonight. He says, "I love this match. Where did damage control go from here?" Well, funny you asked that, Andrew. I think I'm still a big proponent on Bailey and Dakota being a heel tag team and Io breaking off as a babyface. I think Bailey is great, but I think she's been in singles title scenes so much in the last couple of years where it's like that would be a fun direction for her, like making them the team. I think they'd be a really good team. I think this is absolutely true too.
Run that back. Remember how good their match was in NXT
when she busted her ear up?
Yeah, and Rhea's that was cooking, man.
So that's where I would go personally. Bob, any preference on what you do with damage control next, mate?
No, I'm with you actually. Like I think Bailey and Dakota staying together as a tag team and just kind of having more top tier tag teams in that division. If you do want to make those titles kind of big, which it seems like they're trying again, with Becky and Lita having them. I think that's a really good kind of foundation for the division. I know Lita won't be there forever, but you can run that back and go from there. And I think Io just kind of her ceiling on the main roster is probably higher as a babyface.
Yeah, I think they haven't really tapped into what makes her special yet, Oracle, right? And you see little flashes of as a babyface, she can really roll in that regard.
She was really confident. I was just happy to see. I don't know her, but like you could tell she was in a great mood just by her social media presence and stuff.
Good shit.
Like all those, she really. I don't know. I'm hoping that it seems like things are starting to go a little bit better for her. Maybe she's feeling healthier or something. But she looked very good tonight, I thought.
Yeah, and it's always, perspective is everything with these things. And I did see some concern about damage control. And if you're a fan of the act, I get it. But folks, I promise you that all three of those girls were very, very happy to be in there tonight with Trish, Leah, and Becky for that matter. But Trish and Leah, Dakota Kai a year ago was waiting for a deal to end in NXT, man. I couldn't be
her
happy
interview
for her,
was with Denise, right? And she said, or was it Denise or was it somebody?
I believe so,
remember.
Yeah.
There's so many things on, I can't remember what, but.
Absolutely. Really, really happy for all involved. It was a cool deal. Okay, I guess, and I'm not doing this as a... well, first, let's do the Miz thing. It was a way to give the people time to react, to recover.
On the show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It was, but it was... I thought it was ultimately harmless for the most part.
It was fine. It was unneeded.
Yeah.
But I think it was harmless. I don't think it hurts the show that much.
No, it was fine. I thought it was going to be Austin, and maybe they wouldn't do a match. They just have him come out and do a stunner, and it was Pat. I'm like, oh, whatever. It was fine. It was cool to see George Kittle get involved. Brian Alvarez thought that he was Jake Paul, which was very funny.
I saw that, which was
I thought
unbelievably funny.
So you thought it was Austin, so you were disappointed when you saw Pat McAfee, but I thought it was The Fiend. I thought The Miz was going to get attacked by The Fiend on WrestleMania. So when it's Pat, I said, well, fuck it, Pat McAfee's here, I'll take that. But different, it was whatever. I think they wanted to give the people a chance to react, to recover after that last match. And ultimately, they were fresh in the end, so I guess it worked. But if you took it off the show, I don't think any of us would complain, but I'm not really that bothered it was on there, personally. And, having Pat McAfee do a dive was especially funny. I assume that was some sort of comical play or a rib.
A rib. Well, Miz has to catch him. They both could have got in there. And...
Yeah.
Probably would have had better hands. Anyway, let's talk about the opener, which has got a 5.29 kg. And before I go any further, I didn't think this match was bad. I thought it was just whatever.
I thought it was fine. In fact, I thought it was like Cena's best performance in years.
Cena was the first act. Cena was good when he was actually wrestling and he did fall into his rhythm before long.
He did. He did. Although I did love his appreciation of the crowd cheering for him, and he was like, "Thank you, you're finally cheering for me for the 5 knuckle shuffle."
He's so ridiculous, bro.
That ruled. I'm sorry, that ruled.
He did his. All right, you're right. It did rule, but he did his comeback. Was about to do the 5 knuckle shuffle, and in mid comeback went like this. What the fuck? He's gone. I'm telling you, man, he's insane.
Also, he had the split ends, and his comb over kept getting in the way.
Yeah,
he's like. It appears that being away from wrestling as there's something's happened to that man. I can't put my finger on it. He's just so quirky and weird now.
Yeah.
when he was like, when he talked to the camera for his big run, he went, "We got a great squad tonight." I'm waiting for him to Pastamania or some shit, bro. He's out of his mind. But anyway, I actually thought the match was fine. Doing a ref bump was fucking hilarious, but nonetheless, I thought it was pretty fine. Bobby, what did you make of that, mate?
It was fine. It kind of felt like it never really got going, but I guess that was kind of all it was ever going to be. I liked that it was 10-minute match. It did a 90-second sleeper hold.
He called that too.
That Cena called sleeper.
Yep, sleeper. Yeah, I mean, it probably never made sense for Cena to win. So whatever. They interviewed Theory again later. It seems like they might do something. I don't know, tomorrow or Monday, whatever, with that. And it's fine. It is what it is,
bro.
Let me be fair to Cena about spot calling. Charlotte was definitely calling spots.
Yeah. The main event had some too, but it's funny when you talk about John.
Yeah.
Cena goes, sleeper, and he gets the sleeper and he's behind him, and John goes like this, he's selling, he turns his head like this and goes, "On my back." Theory jumps on his back and he's he's something else. Oracle, anything else from the opener? I know you kind of gave your thoughts.
I thought the entrances were cool. The Make-A-Wish kids being out there was cool. But that stage, by the way, awesome. One of the best Mania stages they've ever done, I think.
Oh my god, it looked incredible.
Looked great. They I think they really got a lot of good crowd shots tonight too, just the way it was kind of set up. And I like SoFi. A lot of NFL stadiums look the same. I think SoFi has a unique look as it is. but they could add that to the rotation every 3 or 4 years, and I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, it just looked remarkable, didn't it? It looked absolutely spectacular. I mean, I'm always blown away by when it's TV. I agree with the sentiment of it could be a little much how they do their production when it's TV. Like, I don't need SmackDown to look like a toy set, but when it's Mania, I have no problem with them swinging for the fences with that stuff. And my God, they swing for the fences, don't they? I mean, it is insane. The visuals they come up with, and there's an awful lot of sizzle they add to that steak. And I think it matters, man. I do. Like, we all love Random, but we also talk about the entrances a lot. I think it matters.
Yeah.
I think you have to. Wrestling can be many, many things, but if you're going to do it on that level in front of that many people, you need some spectacle, brother. It needs to have some.
Any goofy WrestleMania entrance is awesome. But what I like so much about the Ray Dom one is that it fit the story they were telling.
Yep.
Dom was about like his whole character arc, right? Even though as ridiculous as it was. And then Ray's was about his legacy. He's a Hall of Famer, So I thought, it's even better when they make sense, Yeah,
I'm absolutely with you. Yeah, it was fitting, and I just thought they added an awful lot. All of those kind of extra wrinkles. I thought it added a lot to the show. So big fun in that regard. It's just quickly so about Cena and Fury. I thought first act was really encouraging with Cena wrestling a traditional opener, which is something we haven't ever seen him really do. Like he was doing like a traditional opening, and it was cool. I liked the little wrinkle of Fury twice biting to get himself out of trouble. He bit the ear and bit the hand, and that was kind of the idea that he was adding that roughness that has been a big part of his character since Triple H took over. It did quickly fall into the pattern we kind of assumed it would, right? With Cena just getting ready for his comeback, and I mean, I thought it was fine. I think it would have really struggled in a different spot on the show. I think the opener really assisted them, honestly. Theory. And again, this is another conversation for another day, but I'm not sure any of us are convinced on Austin Theory, right? As a guy that's going to stick at the top. They seem convinced. I don't buy it, and tonight didn't change my view in that regard. Did it change either of your guys' take on Theory as a prospect? I guess as an upper mid card at this point, a main eventer even. I don't know.
No, I really do think he's losing the belt probably Monday to someone that isn't on the roster right now. Like, not necessarily Jay White, but like, a new signing, call up, whatever.
I will say this. I think he's gotten slightly better in the ring.
Yeah.
But no, he's just not. He's not somebody in the way that they're treating him as like the future top star in a year or two. And it's like, he didn't. No.
Yeah, I'm with you. There's a lack of intangibles there, He doesn't jump off the page like that. He's one of those guys who looks good on if you just add up all of his statistics, video game stuff. Oh, he has this. It's not how it works, man. Wrestling's never worked that way. One day, promoters will figure this out. You have to. The people will tell you. I don't think it's happening, but we'll see how it goes quickly. Andrew cheated another 100 bits and asked, I can't answer this. He says, force on stand and deliver and potential call-ups. Right, still stand and deliver because I saw the main event actually.
That's the one thing I didn't see because I fell asleep.
Okay, well, we can do this together.
I was dozing off in the women's tag title match, but
we'll try and do this a collective kind of briefly. Bob, how was the show?
I thought it was pretty good. The tag title match, the men's tag title match wasn't great, but everything else was pretty solid. Gargano and Waller, for two guys that I don't love, had a hell of a match. Main event delivered. Took a little bit to get going, but they got the job done. And both the multi-person matches were a lot of fun. I'm kind of surprised that Indy won. I don't know how long she's going to stay champion, unless there are some call-ups coming on the women's side. And I'm a little surprised that Wesley won instead of Dragon Lee, but the match ruled, and just a really good showcase.
Oracle, what did you make of what you saw, mate?
I was pleasantly surprised with the women's ladder match. We buried ladder matches last night, rightfully so, I think, but this one was laid out a little bit better.
Good.
And that Tiff Stratton bump was psychotic.
Yeah,
catch her. I remember just sitting there going, "Catch her."
And to be fair, there was only 4 of them. To be fair,
yeah, yeah.
Folks, that's the only verse I'm playing. That was just mean, but you do watch those and go, "Well, someone could have catched her, right?" Like,
right.
I'm gonna call her.
Catch her. The finish is
absolutely
cool.
Finish was cool, folks. Finish was cool. In a minute, I'll review the main event. Wait for Oracle to return first. See if there's anything else to say. Hello. The finish was cool, Oracle.
Yeah. I just, I always enjoyed that story with her and Dexter. So, neat finish,
Cool.
got a great pop. I didn't love the North American title match, but it was definitely a fun match. It probably just overstayed its welcome for me, but I did think Gargano and Waller was very good.
The main event was a really an interesting match in that there was a lot of good offense on display and create. I mean, Carmelo has some creative stuff. Braun has some freakish athleticism, right? Like he does some incredible. He has a big dive, and there was a lot to like about it. Unfortunately, both guys need to work with someone who can place their stuff properly and can provide flow to a match and be kind of the conductor. When they were wrestling each other, it was just it felt disjointed. It wasn't bad, or was not bad, but I thought it was a little bit clunky, which is a shame because the work was really, the offense was spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have any rhythm, it was a shame. But
yeah. I mean, the one thing about the main event too, they had the ref bump and then Carmelo tapped and then just beat him and Braun just gave him the title and seemed cool with everything. So I don't know if they're going to go back to it or if that's a send off for Braun, but I would like that to kind of be addressed.
Well, I mean, him doing the handshake deal after and that was bizarre, wasn't it? After that finish, I didn't understand that. Let's circle back to Andrew's question in terms of call ups. Braun feels like a call up, right?
Yeah.
I will admit I am slightly concerned by how he is seemingly plateaued. I don't blame him for that. I was always a proponent of putting him alongside guys that are better than him rather than him having him just kind of live as the ace of that show. I was always a believer in that. Do you think there's a chance we see him tomorrow?
It depends. Like if they do something with this, because there's only 6 matches tomorrow, so I think they're going to add something. Like if they do something with Lashley, could he be an opponent for Lashley? Yeah, I mean,
the problem is he'd kind of have to win, right? And it's Lashley doesn't.
Yeah, I think Monday. I think there's a really good chance he could beat Theory, but that's a lot of pressure to put on him his first night in too.
Yeah, there's 2 kind of things looming right now. You've got LA Knight.
He'll get booed if he does that LA Knight.
I agree. You've got LA Knight and Bobby, right? Are the 2 kind of guys we expect to see tomorrow. I do unironically think one of those will involve the aforementioned Fiend.
Yeah, I do too.
I think Orton may be involved in one of these 2. Orton, I don't know. I think Dave said he's not wrestling anytime soon, but I think he may do something, Yeah. So we shall see. But nonetheless, let's circle back here to the show itself. We appreciate all the bits, Andrew. I just wanted to answer those questions because we appreciate it, man. That's very, very kind.
Oh, I think the Creeds could be called up too. Like I think they're ready, but I also don't know that there's too much more for them to do down there.
Yeah, the problem with that is imagine being paired with those fellas on the house show, you know what I mean?
That's true.
Imagine being fucking Gallows and you get to the town and they say, "You're in the Creeds for the next 3 nights."
Yeah, 3 bellies in a row from Julius.
I'd go home, mate. I wouldn't do it. Absolutely not. I'd go home. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have to be careful. They're wild cannons. I mean, they're loose cannons. They're wild men. That's why we love them, but it is a little bit scary. I don't have an ask about Roxy. What do you think? Roxy a call up maybe?
I would do it. Yeah, if she's good. I mean, I don't think she needs another chasing the title, and I think she could do more on the main roster. I'd be all for it.
What about Tiffany? I mean, really, Tiffany's as a character, she's more ready.
Confidence character. Poor Roxanne can't.
No, that's a concern.
Her character work is dreadful.
Yeah, that's true.
God bless her. She's so young, so I don't want to.
See, she's an example of why I wish the tag division was a real thing for the women because you could put her with a veteran and she could find her way. It's just it's a shame. Let's circle back to the show itself, WrestleMania. We've talked about all the matches individually. It's been an awful triumph, an hour or so here talking about the show. It's been a great time. Bob, WrestleMania Saturday, WrestleMania 39 Saturday, whatever the fuck we're calling this now, night 1, whatever we call it now, I don't know. So this is WrestleMania Saturday on the network, which intrigues me. Whatever we call this, fair to say this is one of the best ones you've seen, mate?
Yeah, absolutely. They let the baby faces win for the most part after Cena and just didn't do swerves just to do them. And everyone's happy. Everyone's excited. Everyone's looking forward to tomorrow. I'm going to go replay the show probably from the beginning until I fall asleep. And yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh, Cena's up first, bro. You'll be gone pretty quick.
Yeah, I might skip that, but everything after that.
Oracle, what about you, mate? What a night.
Oh yeah, I think it's this one feels just as a standalone, event tonight. It feels right there with 17 and 30, in terms of just like, important shows even.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to get bogged down in this tonight, but I really hope this isn't a false dawn, I really hope that things don't change in a way that means this is like what could have been window, and it's instead the start of a new era in that place.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that really sincerely. Like I don't want us to look back on this show and go, man, that was a real fun time that we had. Like I hope we look back and say that was the start of a really cool time that lasted for a long time, because these are the nights that we do this for.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it is not actually that fun to get mad about professional wrestling to a microphone. I try very hard not to do it. It sucks. I like to enjoy the professional wrestling that I watch, especially when it starts at 1 a.m. and lasts till 5 a.m. And I thought tonight was not just exhilarating, not just, loaded and varied and just a fabulous wrestling show. But more than that, it was one of those shows where you actually said, man, this thing, warts and all, professional wrestling is a beautiful, beautiful thing, isn't it? I mean, seriously, it drives us nuts sometimes, but when professional wrestling is great, man, it's intoxicating. There's nothing like it in the world, because it's truly breathtaking to get invested in two stories at once. Mm-hmm. If you've watched Kevin Steen for the last 15 years, you're invested in him, the human being, as much as you're invested in the guy that's going out there and reuniting with his on-screen best friend, because it's the same fucking thing as the real guy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's such a unique beast, man. There's nothing like it. It's really, truly special. And that blend of kind of fiction and non-fiction is just so interesting to me. And it creates such weirdly moving moments. And tonight was filled with them. So a very, very special night. It's not over yet, though. WrestleMania week has been a hoot here at the Late Night Grin. We've had such a great time. We've been on in some form or fashion every night this week, almost since Monday. And tomorrow night is, the last stop of the road, brothers. Night 2. Bobby, where's your excitement at for the sequel to this one, mate?
I mean, based on how things went tonight, and it's mostly the main event that I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I think the show as a whole will be fine, but like Cody and Roman's been one that I think we've all had circled for quite some time now. Probably a 10, just honestly, because as long as they, are able to stick the landing on that one, I don't really know that I'm going to care too much what they do otherwise tomorrow because of what they did tonight. It's suddenly a babyface promotion again.
Yeah. Oracle, what about you? Fired up, mate?
I am. The only match that gives me some concern is Edge and Finn, particularly for the length. And, obviously if they don't do this, enough smoke and mirrors, which I think it needs, it could get really dry in there. Yeah, I'm definitely up there with Bobby. I'm super pumped for it. Tonight's results and outcome really helped the vibe. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I'm hoping Bianca and Asuka watch Charlotte and Rhea and go,
I think they will. They're not going to want to be they'll swing for the fence on that one, I'm pretty sure. Especially if they have time, which I think they will, because there's even less matches tomorrow. So we shall see. We'll be here to cover that tomorrow night, folks. After the show again. Oracle may be a little bit late tomorrow, mate, but you'll be here nonetheless, and we'll catch up on whatever he misses in terms of the coverage part of it. All right. This is it. Oh, my God. Contrarian Alex just posted a bar selfie with Orange Cassidy, folks. Everyone needs to go to @Contrarian Alex when we're done here in a couple minutes. Big love to Alex. We'll absolutely rib him in a couple of weeks by the fact that he didn't go to night 1 of WrestleMania, but it's too soon now. So instead, simply like his tweet with Orange Cassidy and support our guy. We love him. WrestleMania night 1 in the books. Almost done. Our second WrestleMania week here at the Late Night Grin. Almost. Let's finish the story, right, Bobby? That's what the kids are saying these days. All right. Bobby, you got any plugs? You got any promotions? You got any final thoughts? Anything else to add on what has been a very, very special night here?
We'll be back here tomorrow after WrestleMania Night 2 to do another recap. Gonna put a bow on our WrestleMania week coverage, and then I don't know that you'll hear from us too much in the upcoming week. But yeah, stay tuned.
Absolutely.
Finish the story.
Finish the story.
Yeah. Finish the story. Finish the story. Obviously very excited for tomorrow. I mentioned to Joe and Bobby last night. Might not do a Fed Den on next Sunday because I'll be out of town at Easter, having Easter dinner with my parents and stuff down in Chattanooga. So we'll see how we map that out. We'll be back to cover the week after Mania. Don't worry, folks. We'll sort it out. We'll figure out a time. Bobby and I will figure it out. But until then, enjoy the celebration of night 1. Look forward to night 2. We'll see you tomorrow.
Absolutely, we will, folks. This has been a blast thus far, and we hope to continue in that fashion tomorrow night. We hope whatever wrestling you've watched this week, you've enjoyed it, and again, hopefully tomorrow follows in that mold because it's been a hell of a time thus far. I'm going to repeat again. I don't care if it's hyperbolic, I don't care if it's reactive. That is one of the most enjoyable wrestling shows I have ever seen. And let's be clear, you guys know I had pretty high expectations. Blew them out the water. I mean, it completely obliterated those expectations. That says a lot because I thought it would be a really good show. Very, very special night. Hope everyone loved it as much as we did. And we'll see you tomorrow, folks. Same time, same place. Well, assuming matches don't go along the same time. I shouldn't really, Cody might want to go now. I don't know. But that's it. I'll go full John Cena here. We love you, folks. Keep grinning. All hail. Enjoy this outro.